What is up, guys? How's everybody doing today? All right, today I just want to do a quick 5-minute lesson on how to take one of the most basic drum fills a young drummer will play. There are 2 steps. It's actually pretty simple, and with a little practice, anybody can get this down. The fill I want to make more interesting is the one fill all young drummers do when they start playing rock and roll. So the first thing you do is you learn that beat, right? And then you want to do a drum fill, and you either go 1, 2, 3, 4, or you do this. Both those are fine. There is nothing wrong with doing those drum fills. Some of the greatest drummers in the world have used those exact same drum fills to great success, and they sound awesome, and they work with the song, and that's all fine and dandy, but do it every single time you do a drum fill. It's going to get old, it's going to get boring, and it's going to get stale. So what I'm going to show you right now is 2 very simple ways to make that exact drum fill sound more interesting. We're going to start this fill on beat 1, and we're going to end on the following beat 1 of the next measure, okay? So it's going to be a 1-measure drum fill or a 4-beat drum fill. Next one, it's going to be straight 16th notes. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. We're not going to do any syncopation or anything like that. Last rule is we are going to end on beat 1 after we finish the drum fill with a crash and a bass drum. Reason being, it's just kind of standard practice. You know, there's no hard and fast rules, but it's a good habit to get into, ending with that crash and a bass drum on beat 1, because why? We're already set up. We're starting the beat right there. We're starting the beat after our drum fill. So if I play my drum fill, I crash on beat 1, guess what? My beat's already started. 1, 3, 4, 1, 2. So first little trick to make that drum fill sound more interesting is to just use the voicings of the kit in a different order. And what I like to think of it is, when I'm teaching this to younger drummers, I call this around the world, okay? We want to get away from going around the world, okay? We want to, let's say, if you were to start here, this was a trip around the world, and this was California, and then this was Asia, Europe, and then this was Asia, and then we'd hit the Hawaiian Islands, and then come back to California. Forget that. Let's start it let's start in Europe, and then we'll go to California. Then we're going to shoot over here to Asia, and then maybe we'll shoot up here or over here and to the Philippines or Hawaii or whatever. There's no hard and fast rules. Don't make it a linear straight trip right around the world. Set up a home base and then work out and come back to your home base and work out to it and come back. So I like to say, start everybody who's fairly new to this this is your home base, okay? So the fill I'm going to teach you is really simple. We're going to start beat 1 on our floor tom. 1 E and. That's the first part. Really easy. 1 E and. Then we're going to stay here over 2 E and until we get to a 3. And then we're going to take our left hand on the of 3 on a rack tom up here, because we're already playing in that order. 1 E and a. 1 and 2 and is with our right hand. E's and U's are with our left hand. This is if you're a right-handed drummer. If you're a left-handed drummer, just reverse this, okay? So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Okay, that's the first part. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Next, we're going to come back over to our snare drum, home base. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 3 E and a and then on beat 4, we're going to hit our rack tom again. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Beat 4, we hit our rack tom with our right hand. Back to 4 E and a, then crash with our bass drum on beat 1. Fills over. A much more interesting way to play this drum fill. Way more interesting. Step 2. This one's a little more advanced, and this one could take a little more practice. I'm going to start us replacing the of each beat with a bass drum. So we're going to replace our last left hand of the 4 notes of the 16th. We're going to play the first 3, 1, E, and then a bass drum on the So it's going to sound like this. I'm just going to play it on the snare drum. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And then crash on beat 1 with the bass drum. So then we're going to have 2 bass drums in a row. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Not really difficult. Practice it at that tempo. Let's practice this. Take the same drum fill and now move it around the drum set. Using that same home bass concept. Sounds pretty cool, right? So we're gonna go right, left, right foot, right, left, right foot, right, left, right foot, right, left, right foot, foot. Really simple way to make a very simple drum sound or a very simple drum fill sound a lot cooler. So I'm just going to play at a full speed clip that drum fill, and check this out. Now, 2 totally different sounding drum fills right there. Same exact patterns. First one was this. Or something like that. The second one was this. What I'm doing is snare, rack, floor, bass, snare, rack, floor, bass, snare, rack, floor, bass, snare, rack, floor, bass, bass. Try that one with me. Pretty cool, right? Very simple concept to start making your drum fill sound more interesting. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description below. There is a book by a gentleman named Carmine Appice, and he wrote a really great book on these fills, these types of fills, and the book is called Realistic Rock Replacements. I can't recommend it enough. There's a lot of really cool exercises that are going to help you improve your drum fills and make your drum fills sound way more interesting. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and please hit that subscribe button, that bell notification, and I'll talk to you later.